morning, wonderful people. Happy Sunday. So I'm gonna try to make this quick because I got part of the message a couple of days ago. I got the rest of it yesterday. Now I gotta go into church, and God said, I need you to tell this now. I need you to get this out there for my people. So the other day I was driving and I heard the Lord say 666. I'm like, 666. I'm like, oh man, the devil's after me. You know, something about to happen. And he said, no, everything belongs to me. Everything belongs to me. See, God created the angel Hillel, who we call the devil, Hillel. God created him. He created him good, but he went sour on his own. So everything belongs to God. Everything is under his feet. He's supreme. The devil is not more powerful than God. So oftentimes when we hear 666, we automatically think of the devil. We have to stop giving the devil so much power. We have to stop giving the devil so much power. Everything belongs to God first. The devil is just a counterfeit. He takes what God does, he perverts it and tries to mimic what God does and tries to deceive us through smoke and mirrors. So I heard 666, and then I heard everything belongs to me. And then the next day, I was quickened into my spirit to look in Psalms. Psalms 6, 66 and 6 says, he dried up the waters of the Red Sea, and they parted on foot on dry land. That's a miracle. That's miraculous power. Now, of course, the enemy wants to take something that can be miraculous power and pervert it and have us thinking that it's somehow him, because that's what he does. The devil wants worship. He wants us to worship him, and that's why he uses fear, smoke and mirrors. Fear is false evidence appearing to be real. Fear is an attempt to get our attention off of what God said, and where we focus our attention is where we put our worship. Where a man buries his treasure, his heart will also be. So if you put your fear, your treasure and your faith in fear, out of your treasure chest, that's what you're going to get. You're going to get the fruit of fear. You're going to come out of alignment with God. But when we keep our treasure, our heart with God, our treasure is in heaven. Fear is designed to make us move and get out of alignment with God. Smoke and mirrors. So I was driving, and there's a street in Long Beach called Atlantic. So I seen the street, and it was 999. He said, that's it. That's my message. So I took a picture of it. And then when you flip it upside down, it's 666. Psalm 666. And I thought, wow. He's drying up the waters, and people are going to cross over on dry land. And then it was Atlantic Street, the Atlantic Ocean. So somebody is about to cross over. You're about to cross over. You've been pursued. In the Bible, when Pharaoh was pursuing Israel, you know, Moses was leading them out, and then Pharaoh changed his mind. His heart was hardened, and then he started pursuing them, and they were running. Then they got to the Red Sea, and they're like, man, how are we gonna cross this? How is this gonna happen? The only way it could happen is by the hand of God. And God parted the Red Sea, and they walked by. When he parted the Red Sea, not only did they walk through it, but they came through on dry land. It wasn't mushy. You know, it wasn't a challenge. It was none of that. They all walked through. Now, it was a lot of people. It just wasn't one or two people. It was generations. It was generations. So what's about to happen in your life is going to change the trajectory, not only of your life, but those to come. You're a deliverer. You've been chosen in your family. If you take a look at what God is doing in your life and the promise that he showed to you, you know, that prophetic word that you received, that vision, that dream, that promise in your heart, there's proof sent beforehand that it belongs to you. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things unseen. Nobody else in your family has done that. That's why it's so hard. You're trying to break up off that system out of debt. out of that job. It seems impossible, but God's going to do it. He's going to perform a miracle. That's the only way it's going to happen. But we have to stop giving the devil so much credit. Just like we give the devil so much credit when we see 666, we automatically think it's him. Psalm 66:6, go read it. That belongs to God first. We have to go to God when we see something so we can get the proper interpretation. That's why I waited a few days before I did this message. We prophesy in part, we know in part. If we go too early without getting wisdom from God, we can be led astray. He can be trying to tell us something. We can say, oh no, that's the devil. 666, Psalm 66:6. A lot of people about to cross over on dry land. God parted that Red Sea and they walked right through it. Not just for you, but for the benefit of your generations coming, your family. Nobody else has done it. That's why that battle is so hard. There's another group of people. You've been in a trial and testing. Your faith has been tested. Your character is being tested, and you're being forged in the fire. See, when you're forged in the fire, when a sword is put into a fire to be made stronger, it's called being forged. The fire doesn't destroy the sword. The fire makes it stronger. So you've been in that wilderness. You've been going around that mountain. You've been struggling with your faith. You've been tested. Things been coming your way. You've been being delivered of stuff. Things being pruned out of you. Things being burned out of you by that holy fire. You've been wondering, man, it's dry. It's been dry for a long time. Adversity, trials, and testing. And when the children of Israel were about to cross over into the Jordan, the only way they can do it is by the hand of God. The only way it's going to happen is a miracle. You find yourself in a situation where the only way you're going to get up out of this is a miracle for God, and He's going to do it for you. This is your confirmation. You've been feeling it. You've been seeing it. Other people have been saying things that made your spirit leap. See, the prophetic word and the prophetic doesn't tell you anything new. It confirms what you already know. Mary and Elizabeth, when they greeted one another in the Bible, they were both carrying a child, a spirit of life. That's from God. And when that spirit recognized one another, the spirit leapt, because the spirit of life in one woman's belly recognized the spirit of life in another woman's belly. And it confirmed to one another that what they were carrying, they were about to give birth, both of them. So the prophetic word helps you understand and confirm what God has already said. It doesn't tell you anything new. It confirms what you already know. So take everything before God. Test every spirit. With the adversity, the trials, and the testing, you've been in that wilderness. Now you're about to cross over to Jordan. The only way it's going to happen is by the hand of God. Now, it's going to be miraculous. That's the only way it's going to happen. Because where you found yourself, you've made it through the trials, you made it through the adversity, you made it through the testing. God has worked in you character. Now there's one last obstacle that you just seem not to be able to get over. That's because it's got to come by the hand of God, because it's part of your testimony. It's got to be something only He can do. So He's going to either have you walk on top of the water and walk across that river, or He's going to part the Red Sea and you're going to walk over on dry land. It's going to happen one or two ways, and neither of them matter. Why? Because either one of them is the hand of God. That's the only way it's going to happen. So hang in there. Hang in there. The reason why it's so hard is because nobody else has done it. You think the enemy is just going to sit there and let you have it and let you do it? No. He's not going to let you do it. He's going to fight you tooth and nail because he wants to keep those generational strongholds and those generational curses reinforced. He doesn't want you being self-employed. He doesn't want your kids to eat good and not have to do the things that you've done or go through the things you had to went through. He doesn't want you married. Your parents been divorced. Grandmama and granddaddy, they got divorced. Everybody in your family got divorced. And you desire to get married and have kids and break that cycle. And the enemy's fighting you tooth and nail. There's a woman out there, you don't think it's going to happen for you. You've been waiting. Where are the men? The men are out there, I'm telling you. Don't allow fear to make you go astray. The Bible says the righteous are bold as lions, but the wicked flees when nobody pursues him. The wicked flee when nobody pursues them because they go on false evidence. That's wickedness. That's having faith and fear. Faith and fear are almost two in the same. When you move in fear, you're moving in something that hasn't happened yet. That's fear. But when you move in faith, it's the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things unseen. Have faith. Your miracle is about to happen. God bless you.